Good evening, YouTube. I am back again, and we're going to speak about Unai Emery again. It's been the topic of conversation. I'll get my words out properly in a minute. All day on social media, and mate, seriously, I just didn't expect it to come to this so quickly. Let me get that light out of the way. I didn't expect it to come to this so quickly, if I'm being honest. It's like, we've had 5 games this season. Yes, we capitulated towards the back end of last season, but 5 games this season, and already it's Emery out, Emery out, Emery out. People are actually genuinely DMing me saying, are you Emery in or out? Come on, man, seriously. Right, like I said yesterday on the stream yesterday, I'm not Emery in, I'm not Emery out. I'm just backing what's there right now, and he's the manager, so I'll back him for now. You know, it's not a case of like the previous manager where it went years and years and years and years and years, and it turned into a bit of a cult following that you couldn't say a bad word against the previous manager. I ain't like that. But at the same time, I am sitting on the fence, Ellie. There is a hell of a lot of people that have DM'd me today, and I've stopped answering DMs. I can't be bothered with it. Are you Emery in? Are you Emery out? Like, it's 5 games into the season. If we get to Christmas and we're miles away from top 4, then ask me again, and I might have a different opinion on it. But right now, it's 5 games, right? And we didn't have Lacazette at the weekend. We gifted goals again. We gifted goals against Tottenham. We gifted goals against Liverpool. And I can understand why people want him gone. I genuinely can. I can understand it. A lot of people didn't even want him in the first place. So then people are very quickly gonna jump on it and jump on the bandwagon and say, get him out. I personally didn't want him as manager. I wanted Ancelotti. That was my first pick. I wanted Ancelotti. My second pick was Allegri. When Emery got announced as manager, I was like, do you know what? I'll go with that. And I've fully backed him last season, fully backed him. But towards that back end of the season, it got a bit embarrassing. You know, Granit Xhaka giving away a penalty against Brighton and just strolling off like it was nothing. It was like, mate, do you realise that's cost us top 4? You know, Crystal Palace, Mustafi just standing around like a clown, letting Wilfried Zaha run off of him. And this is the thing, right? You can blame Emery for picking them players who shouldn't be picked. Xhaka, for me, Mesut Ozil, Mustafi, players like that. You can say, right, he shouldn't be picking them players every week, which is cool. But at the same time, them players have got to give a little bit more. And that is where I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to sit on the fence for a little bit longer. I'm not going to sway one way or the other yet. Because if he gives Granit Xhaka the captaincy, for me, that is a massive, massive mistake. That geezer is not a captain. I don't care if he's captain for Switzerland. He is not good enough to lead a football team. He's always got that arrogant look about him. He's always like smug and like, yeah, I'm better than I actually am. That's how he comes across. I'm sure he's not like that in real life. I've had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times, and personally, I don't want to. So I sat in the car while everybody else did. Same with Mesut Ozil. Could have met him, didn't want to. Sat in the car. He was literally 2 foot away from me. Sat in the car. Ain't interested. And, you know, if it was Lacazette, I would have got out of the car and I would have gone and spoke to him. Because for me, somebody like Lacazette epitomises what I want from a footballer at our club. And that is somebody that's going to run through brick walls, going to G up the rest of his players and call the rest of the players out. Granit Xhaka don't do that. You know, people were saying at the beginning of the season, oh, Bellerin should be captain. Well, based on what? Based on the fact that he got on all fours and started cuddling Maitland-Niles. You know, in a Europa League final. Really? That don't mean you're a captain. That just means that you care about your mate. You know, at the end of the day, for me, Arsenal have only got 1 captain, maybe 2. And that would be Lacazette for me all day long. But we all know at some point this week, Unai Emery is going to announce his 5 captains, whether that be later on today. Probably not now. It's gone past 5 o'clock over in England. So that probably won't be until tomorrow, maybe even Thursday or Friday. And other than Lacazette, I'd say maybe Socrates, but I'll tell you something now, right? I thought he'd done all right last season, Socrates. But if he had made the mistakes this season, or sorry, if Mustafi had made the mistakes this season that he has made, we'd want to deport Mustafi. So how does Socrates get a pass just because he put a statement out saying, I'm sorry? Well, Mustafi's done that umpteen times and we all mug him off for it. You know, Granit Xhaka does interviews saying he's scared. We were scared. And people can say you've taken that out of context. Well, no, I haven't. We were scared. That was what he said. We were scared in the second half. Is that a personal attack on the manager? If it is, then why is he captain? Should be dropped. He should be dropped anyway because he just simply ain't good enough. So when you look at it, and when I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it from both sides of the fence, which is why people are saying I'm sitting on the fence. Yeah, I am sitting on the fence for now. But a manager can't legislate for Socrates doing what he done at the weekend. He can't legislate for David Luiz doing what he done at the weekend. Granit Xhaka against Tottenham, David Luiz against Liverpool. There's 4 goals we've given away. But at the same time, he picks them players, and he's consistently picking them players. Then add into the fact that we've given up nearly 100 shots on goal in 5 games against some of the deadest teams in this league, which is the highest in the top 5 leagues in Europe. I'm sorry, there is a massive, massive issue there. His team selections have been a joke and have been for the last 8 games of last season, barring the Europa League final. But again, I wouldn't have played Ozil. People can say I've got an agenda. I don't really care. Yeah, my agenda's Arsenal Football Club. And it ain't going to go anywhere with Granit Xhaka and Mesut Ozil in the team. It's as simple as that. So the last 8 games of last season, his starting 11s were a joke. This season, I thought the Newcastle game, he got his starting 11 spot on, albeit that was a tough game and we just about got through it. But then what's Callum Chambers' reward for playing really well up at Newcastle? Yep, you're benched and you ain't been seen again since. Joe Willock played the first 3 games of the season, was absolutely outstanding at Newcastle, done well against Burnley, fantastic up at Anfield, one of the only ones who was. What's your reward? Oh yeah, you're benched against Tottenham, even though you're one of the only players at the club that gets what that fixture means. And you benched again at the weekend away to Watford. Then Mesut Ozil, not been seen since trudging off the pitch for Joe Willock in the Europa League final. Here you go, mate. Straight back in the team. You can go and play away. We know he don't play away. So when you look at all these things, you've got to understand from both sides, right? Unai Emery's made massive mistakes this season already. He made massive mistakes last season, not just in them last 8 games, but across the season. And we got away with it a lot of times, right? But at the same time, the reason I gave him a pass last season is if Aubameyang scores that penalty at White Hart Lane, where it was Wembley at the time, we would have been 4th. So I'll go, do you know what? I'll give you a pass, bruv. This season, 5 games in, I'm still giving him a pass. If we get to Christmas and we're still this crap, then I will fully jump on board. You've heard that. Clip it. Do what you got to do. Yeah. If we're still this bad defensively and we're still shipping goals and shots so easily at Christmas when we play, I think it's Bournemouth on Boxing Day. If we're, or just before, I think it might be, oh yes, Everton just before and it's Bournemouth Boxing Day. And then we've got Chelsea New Year's Day, right? If we are that bad, by the time we go into that Chelsea game on New Year's Day, I will jump on the bandwagon of Emery out. Right now, I'm holding fire. And I can see why people aren't. But at the same time, you've got to have a bit of perspective with it. We've got Tierney injured, Bellerin injured, Rob Holding injured. Yes, Lacazette's only missed 1 game. But there's 4 players there that would probably start most matches. Maybe Holding wouldn't. Depends. Depends whether he wants to drop Socrates or David Luiz, or whether he wants to play with all 3 of them and drop somebody else. But if we're going to persist with Granit Xhaka as captain, that's the biggest mistake and the biggest nail in his coffin. Trust me, that will kill him. That will end his career as Arsenal manager by persisting with a guy who turns slower than milk. Seriously, the guy is fucking useless. Mustafi's been banished by the looks of it, and rightly so. He's got that one right. Now he needs to have some balls and do it with Granit Xhaka. You know, and it's all well and good saying, oh, Xhaka's going to have a month off, this and that. Guaranteed, as soon as that month off is done, he'll walk straight back into the team as captain again. And that shouldn't be the case. Joe Willock must have been sat there on the bench against Tottenham thinking, hang on, I've started the first 3 games of this season and now I'm benched in the biggest game at home of our season. And I've been here for 16 years. I get what that game means. I'm an Arsenal fan. I get it. But he ain't going to kick off. He's just signed a new deal and good luck to him, right? But I'll tell you something now, yeah? There's 2 managers sat around doing nothing. One of them's Jose Mourinho and one of them's Massimiliano Allegri. And I'll tell you something, right? If we're this fucked at Christmas in terms of shipping goals, and people can say, well, we're drawing on points with Tottenham. Yeah, that's cool. Tottenham have got a better team than us. Let's be real here, yeah? If we are this bad in terms of shipping goals, gifting goals, not looking like we're going to score and relying on one player up front to bury the chances, which he has been doing. Full credit to Aubameyang, but it must be pissing him off, the fact that he's scored 2 goals at the weekend, and then all of a sudden we've gone, here you go, Watford, have a couple of goals back. And let's be right here, they should have fucking won that right at the end. How that geezer missed, I think it was Decore, was it? Should have buried that right at the end. So for me, at Christmas, New Year's Day, when we play Chelsea, if we're this bad, then I'll jump on the bandwagon. But until then, I'm going to sit on the fence, and I'm just going to sit back, watch what happens. We've got Frankfurt on Thursday. That's not going to be an easy game. And I don't expect us to win it, if I'm being honest. I will happily take a draw now. And that sounds defeatist, but sounds negative. But you've just got to go with what you've witnessed for the first 5 games. We have been bang average for 5 games. Not really created a great deal of chances in them 5 games, and shipping chances left, right and centre against the likes of fucking Burnley and Watford and Newcastle. So yeah, anyway, I've been rambling for 11 minutes, nearly 500 people watching. Only 63 likes. Do get that over 100, 150 would be really, really appreciated. I did miss a super chat from somebody, so let me scroll back to him before Rabba, there we go. Result for Napoli-Liverpool. They spanked us last time. Is it in Naples, mate? It's in Naples, isn't it? I'll go with... I think you do them 2-1. I think Liverpool will do them 2-1. And thanks for your super chat, mate. I appreciate that. Who will you buy if you were Arsenal manager, says Eugene? I would buy, if I was Arsenal manager in January, I'd get rid of Mustafi. I'd go and buy Upamecano. Yeah, I'd then put Upamecano with Rob Holding. Then you've got the physical side, you've got the casual side that can walk out from defence. You've then got Socrates and David Luiz, a bit of experience on the bench if you need it. You can make it a 3 at the back. So yeah, I'd go with him. I'd maybe go and try and buy Decore, Thomas Partey and Didi, somebody like that as well, because we need a proper defensive midfielder. Big up everyone in the chat as well. Don't get offended if I don't read your comments out, but they're flying in thick and fast at the minute. Big up all the mods in the chat as well. Actually, that's reminded me. I need to unblock somebody that one of you guys has blocked. I'll do that in a minute. Looking incredibly pen. Thank you very much, Martin. Appreciate that, mate. I'll tell you what, though, I can't lie. This Adidas shirt, this polo shirt, is really nice, man. I might treat myself to the blue one in a minute. Might go on Arsenal website and buy a new one in a minute. Do you rate Konate? I think he's decent, would be a great buy. Evening Tom. I do, but I think Upamecano is better. What was your favourite kids show when you were younger? Says AFC fan. I had a few actually. Beta Grove, man. I like Biker Grove. The A-Team, that was always a good one. That was pretty much it. Like kids programs, there was loads of good kids programs, but they were probably my 2 favourites: Biker Grove and the A-Team. Dukes of Hazzard was decent. Top Shagger. Love you, Lisa's Christian. Thank you, my friend. Always nice to have good comments. Nice comments. Thank you. Champions League watch along. Do you know what? That might not be a bad idea. You know, you're a Liverpool fan as well. Let me see if I can get older Chig. Yeah, let me see if I can get older Chig. Right, let's get rid of Luke. He obviously don't know how to spell the word nonce, so we'll just hide him anyway. If you're going to try mugging me off, bruv, at least learn how to spell nonce properly. It's C, not S. This is Sparta. Transformers. Transformers was good, I can't lie. Transformers, I used to. Airwolf, that's another one, Ryan. Emery out. The Emery outs are in full flow. I would take Ashley Barnes at Arsenal, no lie, says Johnny. The geezer has an eye for a goal, proper gets stuck in, thoughts on Ashley Barnes. Well, he always seems to score against us, mate, but then again, so does fucking everyone. Wilfred Zaha turns into a prime fucking Messi when he plays against us, doesn't he? So, I don't know, man. Ashley Barnes is all right. He's not Arsenal quality. He is what he is, and he plays to his strengths, and he plays to Burnley's strengths. So, you can't knock him. Listen, Burnley have got their own way of doing things, and if that's how they want to do it, that's how they want to do it. But, yeah, I don't think he'd be good enough for us. Fantasy Champions League. I've not done that, actually. Give him a chance. Wait till we have our defence back. See, that's what I'm saying. Floods are 99. Wait until we've got the team that he purchased. And, well, so it's Tierney he purchased, wasn't it? But wait till he gets his players back. If at Christmas it's still going wonky, then yeah, cut ties. Why not? And you know what? I fully expect this board to do that this time around as well. It won't be a case of let's just hold on forever and ever and ever based on sentiment. Yeah, at the end of the day, this guy owes us nothing and we owe him nothing. It's as simple as that. He's being paid to do a job. Evening, the McManus. Would you take Pookie from Norwich? Mate, I tell you what, he looks a baller, you know. I can't lie. I've not really heard of him until he came to Norwich. Mate, that pass he done for their second goal, mate. The disguise on that ball was just absolutely brilliant. And let's be real, if a certain number 10 for Arsenal was doing that, it would be turned into a little vine or a little 10-second clip and we'd be knocking one out for the next 6 months over it. Jose Mourinho can do the work for Arsenal, says Prinsdo. Well, this is the thing, right? I've said I'd take Mourinho. A lot of people don't like that, yeah? And they don't, and I get it, right? But at the same time, would we be shipping shot after shot after shot after shot? No, we wouldn't. It'd sort the defence out. Yes, we'd be boring. I don't give a fuck if we're boring. I want to win football matches. And if we ended up finishing top 4, playing 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, would anyone give it to us? I remember sitting through the days of George Graham, 1-0 to the Arsenal. We went 1-0 up, shut up shop, and no one's beating you. No one's getting a draw. And if they did get a draw, Jesus Christ, George Graham would rip their fucking heads off. B-Tech Brad Pitt. Well, I'll take that, Funamel. Thank you very much. Benitez in. Well, I think Benitez is in China, mate, earning a fucking fortune. Messi, Ronaldo, Emery's not a defensive-minded coach. Well, this is what winds me up, right? I watched the analysis on Monday Night Football of what's his name? What's the Scouser's name who spat on that guy? What's his name? Somebody tell me his name. Jamie Carragher. Jamie Carragher, right? And Gary Neville. And they sat there and they were showing Norwich and how they done it, yeah? They showed Arsenal first. Right? Thank you to everyone telling me that, by the way. And they were showing Arsenal. And they showed that Socrates could have passed that ball to Maitland-Niles, just a sideways pass, we're away. We're going down the wing. We're carrying the ball up to halfway. Instead, he tries to pass it to Guendouzi. Why is he doing that? Who has told him to do that? Or did he just have a brainwave and go, yeah, cool, I'll just pass it to him? Because the thing is, if you do pass it to Guendouzi and he spins that guy who's pressing him, you are away. You've got a 3-on-3. The problem is it's extremely dangerous. And now we've been caught out. And we got caught out earlier in that game. Guendouzi again in that one. We got caught out against Liverpool twice with it. We got away with it. Every single team now knows that's a weakness. So they're going to try and rein in on that. And that can't be good for us going forward. The Gary Neville said, I think, no, it was Jamie Carragher actually. He said, why don't you dink it out to the left wing? Get your left winger stood there or your right winger, Pepe, whoever it may be, and just do a little lob pass. They've all sucked in. They're all expecting the pass out from the backs and just dink it straight to the left wing. You've then got a 3-on-3. But what do I know? I've not done my coaching badges and I'm not getting paid £5 million a year to manage Arsenal. So there we go. Passing out from the back is good if you know what you're doing. Spot on, Nicola. Spot on. Any merch? Not at the moment. You lot are mad for it as well. I've had a lot of people message me asking about merch, yeah? I am going to set something up. I don't know when it'll be, and it's not going to be Lee Gunner or anything like that on the merch, but I will set something up. But when I do set it up, right, it is going to be Peng. In fact, I could actually put Peng on the hat, innit? But yeah, I will set something up because a lot of you have asked. So obviously, you want me to do it, so I'll do it. Arsenal should do business in January, but mainly getting rid of the dead wood before arrival, says Ghost 88 official. Couldn't agree more, mate. Could not agree more. Get Emery out before January. City are in crisis. Stones has got an injury. Well, they'll probably go and do an emergency loan or something to the Premier League and knock one out and bend over backwards for him. We need merch. You're going to Villa on Sunday. I'm not, mate. I'm up near Scotland, and that is a mission. Nearly 600 if you're watching live. I'm going to go for another 10 minutes till 30 minutes here. Please do stick a like on this video. 134 have done that. If another 66 of you do it, that would be 200, and that would be massively appreciated. So 66 of you that haven't, rapid fire it up to 200. Hey, Lee, I'm from Ethiopia. Big up yourself, Dagmawi. I hope you're well. Never been to Ethiopia. Love from Malaysia. Thank you very much, Cristiano. Would you take Tuchel? Not sure on him, if I'm being honest with you, mate. Jamie, and big up to yourself. Know you're a long time watcher. I don't think I would. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he's good enough, mate. I think he's actually worse than Emery. And I'm not saying Emery's bad, but I think Emery's better than him. Nagelsmann, I'd consider him. But you've got to go with a specialist in winning. And in that case, if we do get rid of him and he does go, and I hope he don't get sacked. I hope he turns it around. But if he doesn't, you've got to go with a specialist in winning trophy after trophy after trophy. There's only 2 candidates and they're both available. Jose Mourinho, which will piss off half of the Arsenal fans, couldn't give a toss. If we win game after game after game after game and we end up winning a trophy, would anyone give a toss Jose's our manager if we lift the Europa League at the end of the season and get top 4, whatever? And Allegri. So I think they'd be the ideal candidates because we need a quick fix, and they would be a quick fix. I read somewhere that Emery is on thin ice, and Raul originally wanted Luis Enrique. Josh Kroenke wanted Julian Nagelsmann, but I also read Even picked Emery. Well, Even did pick Emery. Even into you, Demetrios, and thanks for your donation, mate. I do genuinely appreciate that. He did pick Emery. It was Ivan Gazidis that picked him. Ten Hag. Well, there you go. There's another good manager. But this is the thing. There's so many managers out there. Arsenal is such a big job. And for some of these managers, it's too big a job, right? And Luke's just put in there Vieira. I don't want an ex-player being manager. And the reason I don't, I'll give you an example, right? Let's say this was Vieira right now. Would everyone be on his case like they are now? Let's say Vieira was our manager last season and what happened. And then he come into this season and what's happened. Would everyone be on his case? Because if you're not, then you're all hypocrites. Based on the fact that he's a club legend from 20 years ago or 15 years ago. Because it's Unai Emery, it's a case of, okay, we'll get on his case. If you are on Vieira's case, then that backs my point. I don't want a club legend being the manager, which is why I don't want Freddie Ljungberg to be manager. You know, because at some point you're going to have to hate him. Yeah, because at some point it is going to go sideways and you are going to have to get on his case. And I don't want that to happen to somebody like Vieira, like Henry, like Ljungberg, players that I grew up with. And I thought, you know what, they're brilliant players. We need a proper manager. And there's only a handful of them on the planet and they don't come cheap. So for me, that's Jose, Allegri, Simeone. Not that he's going to leave, but they're the 3 managers. Nagelsmann's another one, perhaps, but what's he really done? Yes, he plays good football. Yes, he's upset some of the big boys and all that, but really, there's 2 managers right now that have not got a job that have won everything between them in the fucking world. So why not go and get one of them if it does go sideways and continues to go sideways? Just want to see pressing and be able to smash teams up and be able to shut up shop. Well, I think that's what we all want, Brandon. And that's the thing. When he first came here, we were pressing really high. And for some reason, we've just stopped doing that. It's mad. I don't get it. Simeone, Allegri, Jose. There you go, Jamie. They're the 3. They're probably the 3 best managers outside of maybe Pep and Klopp around at the moment. Would you take Memphis Depay at Arsenal? Foul Nop says. No, I wouldn't. Bang average footballer in the Premier League. Flopped. Remember when he was the next Ronaldo? It's easy to do it in France, isn't it? Couldn't quite do it in the Premier League. Sean Dyche. Well, one thing's for sure. Would be a bit more fucking physical and we wouldn't be shipping goals left, right and centre. Sam Allardyce, you joker, Fernando. Would you take Diego Simeone? I would love Diego Simeone, but let's be real. Why would he leave Atletico Madrid to come to Arsenal? Why would he do that? Did you hear Holding is high on Emery's pecking order? What does that even mean, Tom? What are you cooking today? VP, I'm actually cooking a carbonara. That's what I'm cooking today. I'm going to do a nice little carbonara later on. Maybe, what time is it now? It's 25 to 6. Maybe about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'll do a nice little carbonara. Depends if Chig wants to do a watch-along for the Liverpool game. If he does, then I'll have to do it in a minute. So when I get off of this stream, I'll message him. Might do a little watch-along. You never know. So, yeah. No, Lily, you should release a cigarette or beer label for your match. That would be proper sound. Thanks, Johnny. Thanks for the tip, mate. Appreciate it. Can you be the new coach? Says Moses. Yeah, I'll do it for free as well. Eddie Howe. Not for me, buddy. MPC, not Eddie Howe. Robbie for manager. Robbie would probably do better if I'm being honest. He'd have more passion for it, that's for sure. Are you going to watch Barca versus Dortmund? No, I'm not, mate. Chili con carne, I'm cook guy. Bruv, Daniel, that's my favourite dinner, you know. I'm on my way to yours, bruv. Where do you live? And I've actually had a proper, in Mexico, in Cancun, a proper chili con carne. 11 likes away from 200, nearly 630 people watching. So please do slap a like on the video. Yeah, do another 5 minutes. In fact, wait there. Don't move. Let me text Chig while I'm on the stream. See if he wants to do a watch along for the Liverpool game. Let's see if he wants to do one. All right, that message has been sent. Let's read some more of these comments out. Thanks for bearing with me. We're over 200 likes as well. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Xhaka will be Emery's downfall, says Abdi Hakim. Well, yeah, it's exactly what I said earlier on, mate. If he makes him club captain this week officially, then yeah, 100% that will be the nail in his coffin that buries him, mate. Because that guy is a fucking liability. He can't turn, he can't run, he can't dribble, he can't defend. He's rash. He looks like he don't give a toss half the time. And all he's got is a powerful shot and a 60-yard diagonal once every 10 times. What does he do? Oh, but he passes forward a lot. And he's £35 million and 90 grand a week. I'd expect him to pass a fucking ball. Poch for manager. I've seen a couple of people say that in the comments, Luke. Poch for manager. For anybody joining late, I am not Emery out. Arsenal fans just asked me that. I am not Emery out. I am fully getting splinters up my arse right now and sitting on the fence. But like I did say earlier on in the stream, if we get to Christmas and we're still pretty bad defensively, still shipping goals for fun, still shipping shots for fun, then yeah, I will switch to Emery out. But I didn't want to come to that stage. I hope it don't come to that stage. Kool-Aid Luke, jog on with your Steve McLaren, bruv. He can replace Valverde at Barca, yeah? But yeah, I don't want to get to that stage, and I'm hoping Emery turns it around. Listen, I don't want to end up hating Unai Emery. I spent 7 years hating the previous manager. I don't want to go down that route again. So I'm hoping that these players fucking put a shift in on Thursday and at the weekend, and we can sort it out. Tony tracksuit wearing Pulis for manager, says McManus. Well, he'd sort our defence out. He might not sort anything else out, but he'd sort the defence out. Sorry, mate, meant Holding is apparently not high on Emery's pecking order. Well, he wants to be because he's better than both of the centre-backs we've got in there at the minute. Antonio Conte, says El Rossi 26. Yeah, decent manager. Decent manager. Premier League winner. Players also to blame as much as Emery. Well, I think the players are to blame, yeah, and I think they're probably more to blame. But see, the thing is, it's easy to say that, but then you sit back and I say that, and I go, well, actually, he keeps picking the same fucking players that are making mistakes. So, is there any accountability? So, maybe the buck does stop with him. Maybe it does, because he keeps picking Granit Xhaka, he keeps picking David Luiz, Socrates, and these players keep making mistake after mistake after mistake. Granit Xhaka is a fucking liability. What does he see in him? What does he see in him? Get George Graham back. It's funny you say that. Somebody on Twitter said that earlier. He said that, mate, it'd sort our defence out as well. I'm going to do 30 more seconds. So I'm going to do 3 more questions. Who's your captain? Says one to Tutry. I'd go Lacazette, mate. I thought you was managing Brighton. Don't you fucking start as well, I swear. I'm actually quite happy somebody called me a B-Tech Brad Pitt in the comments. That's the best one yet. Keep them coming. As long as you keep saying Brad Pitt, he's a decent looking lad, isn't he? I'll take that one. better than Graham Potter. Been watching you since January. Thank you, my friend Dagwami. Thank you very much. Who would you replace Xhaka with? Says Sahul. I'd replace him with you, bruv. Jose Mourinho in, organisation needed. Big up yourself, D-Dubs. Hope you're well, buddy. Right, last comment. And I'm going to get myself out of it. Please subscribe. Do stick a like on the video. If I'm doing a watch-along, you will see it pop up. Or you hopefully see it pop up. What time's kickoff? 7:45? Is it 7:45, the kickoffs? So at 7:30, you'll see me pop up. And me and Chig will be doing a watch along if he replies to my text and if he wants to and if he's available. If not, then I'll be back at 9 o'clock. Might make it 10 o'clock actually, seeing as Champions League's on, because nobody's going to be watching me if they're watching Champions League. So if he doesn't want to do a watch along, I'll be back at 10 o'clock. 8 o'clock kickoffs, yeah? Oh yeah, they changed it all now, innit? It's not 7:45 and all that, but it's 8 o'clock, isn't it? Let me just double check that. Champions League fixtures. Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. Oh, Chelsea, Valencia. Chelsea, Napoli, Liverpool's the one though, isn't it? Yeah, Napoli, Liverpool. When the Tottenham playing? They're playing tomorrow, 5 to 6. Yeah, all right, cool. Listen, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you to everyone who watched live. There was nearly 700 of you at one point, so thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. All have a wonderful evening. I will be back at 7:30, no, 7:45 if I'm doing a watch along with Chig. If not, I'll be back at 10 o'clock when Champions League football's finished with another stream. So until then, thanks to everyone in the comments. Big up everyone with a super chat as well. I do appreciate that. Laters, peeps.